Hi, my name is Riana Anderson. I'm a 2006 graduate of Psychology and Political Science, and I'm currently a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Pennsylvania. So a postdoctoral fellow is someone who has completed their PhD and is perhaps looking at a faculty position or a full-time clinical position and wants to specialize a bit in something, in some sort of training before they go. So for me, I was interested in specializing in community and family level interventions. And so a lot of the psychological work that we might do as clinicians is one-on-one and really building from the rapport that we have with certain clients. And sometimes we use manuals. And so I wanted to be someone who not only developed manuals, but could teach other people and facilitate that learning of manuals. So I wanted to specialize with someone who does that quite well, and so that's what brought me to the University of Pennsylvania. I chose to major in psychology because I thought about preventative approaches to some of the things that I saw around as a Detroit child. So I was looking at some of the things that my neighborhood had, and sometimes it was crime, sometimes it was violence, and I was wondering in what ways we could think about a preventative approach to some of those problems. And so I thought about mental health as a way to tap into the strength that individuals have, the promises, the hopes that folks have, and wanted to tap into that a bit more than saying pejorative or really negative things about them as perhaps a lawyer or someone who is a medical professional who's dealing with some of the ramifications of some of those things. So I wanted to take a preventative approach. So that's what got me into psychology in the first place. And it's really been a pretty clear line from making that psychology decision and saying I wanted to be clinically trained. And so some of the stops that I've made along the way haven't been as clear, and they've been really all over the map, especially if you look at the map and where I've been. It's been a pretty broad regional and national kind of approach, but I wanted to get the best training that I could, and so that took me to different places. But I really appreciate the type of training that I've received thus far, and it's allowed me to get my clinical psychology and community psychology PhD. The advice that I have for folks who want to do what I'm doing is that it's really challenging to persevere and persist in a PhD program, and so you really have to think about the support that you need to get through. If that's family, if that's religion, if it's the gym, if it's making fresh foods every day, like whatever it is that you need to make it through this journey, you should have along with you, because it is really quite challenging, but it's totally doable. So knowing that people have done it before you, knowing that there are alums out there who you can contact if you ever need help, is really something that helped me as I was going through. And so I made sure to have several mentors, my friends, my family, and my religious support to get me through. The best career advice that I've ever received is just thinking about how none of this makes sense while you're in it, right? So you're looking at a 3-foot glance at the next thing that's happening, and when you're done with it, you have hindsight, you have 300-foot lens to say, oh, this is what's happening far out, this is what happened a long time ago. So once you're out of it, you can really see the picture a bit better, but when you're in it, it's really hard to see what it is that you're doing. So just trust the process. Trust that the training that you're getting is getting you to the next step. Trust that the internship that you didn't get wasn't something that you absolutely needed to get you to the place that you ultimately want to go. So know that everything is within your grasp. It may just not come when you want it or look the way that you think that it'll look. The thing that's contributed the most to my career success is, again, the folks who've been around me. So the network that I've been able to create, and some of those people are from Michigan, right? So thinking about when you go to conferences and seeing the people who are doing the work that you're doing, you can see them as enemies or you can see them as collaborators. And the folks who collaborate more often get more research done, more papers out, more publications. And so those are the people who are able to get on the map a bit better. So I would think about all the opportunities and all the people that you meet as potential networking opportunities. The pride that we have, the network that we have, the people who made my transition to Michigan so smooth. It's just a beautiful community of people, and I'll always go blue.